Hello everyone! Redhead Bedhead is a person on YouTube that you should watch, and she tagged me in Naramon's annual YouTube survey, which is good because I wanted to do it anyway. So here we go! Why are you called that? My full name is Margaret Claire Needham. I'm almost positive there's no fun, interesting story behind the name Margaret. I know that I was almost named Teresa, but my dad said there were too many E sounds in Teresa Needham, which is, I guess, true. I was named Margaret with the intention of being called Margaret, but then my dad started calling me Maggie when I was a baby, and my older brothers, who were 3 and 6 at the time, copied him, and once they were calling me Maggie, there was really no going back from there. At this point, I don't really associate the name Margaret with me. No one calls me that, so don't call me that. My middle name is Claire. Again, I don't think there's a reason, but it does mean clear, so that makes my name Clear Pearl, which I think is kind of pretty. The last name Needham, I assumed for all of my life, was just an Irish name. The ham part comes from like a hamlet, a small town, and so I assumed that Needham was a small town in Ireland, but I looked it up recently and it's a small town in England, which is strange because I'm very much mostly Irish. So that was a little bit of an identity crisis when I found that out a few weeks ago, but there you have it. I'm called All Shall Delight on YouTube because it was part of a quote from a Walt Whitman poem from Leaves of Grass. I'm not obsessed with Walt Whitman. I couldn't even tell you the full quote right now. It was pretty much a hipster choice. I really wanted a literary screen name, but I'm stuck with it. Whatever, it's fine. Tell us about your favorite school teacher. I don't particularly have a favorite school teacher. Like, no one pops to mind as, like, I've decided that's my favorite, but I remember in 4th grade my teacher was awesome. I don't remember her name, but she was awesome because she was super lenient about everything, and I'm sure I didn't learn anything in that class, so I'm not sure if that counts. All of my favorite faculty members in high school were part of the ministry department or the theology department, but my favorite theology teacher was one I never even had. I just went on a retreat with him, so I'm kind of going up blank for an answer to this question, which is a little bit embarrassing. What's the strangest food you've ever eaten? I'm so proud of myself that I have an answer to this question because I was a picky eater for a very long time. I'm getting better. But like a year ago, I wouldn't have had an interesting answer to this question. But, as it is, my brother came to visit my brother and I once, so the 3 of us were going to have an event called Raccoon Fest, where we would go to this one farmer's market in the city that we know about, and we were going to buy a raccoon. We had seen a raccoon at this farmer's market before. So we were going to buy a raccoon, and then take it back and like grill it and eat it. But we went there that one weekend and they didn't have a raccoon, so that was super upsetting. So we bought a rabbit instead, and we also bought sausages that were made of alligator. So we grilled those instead. And it actually ended up being like a huge, like almost tornado kind of storm that night, but we were just chilling in the house and we ate rabbit. So I've eaten rabbit. I didn't eat any of the alligator, but I have eaten rabbit. It tasted okay, you know? Tell us about your first gig. I'm assuming from Alex's video that gig in British just means concert in general, like not one that you play, but one you attend. And I made a whole video about how I don't like this question, and I don't really have a very good answer for it. But I guess I will say Harry and the Potters 2007. I was 14. It was before the last book came out, in Chicago on the top of the Harold Washington Library downtown on the top floor with like a glass ceiling. It was like we were in the Great Hall, and it was so great. It was my first Wizard Rock concert, and it was the best thing in the world. What is your favorite place in the whole world? My favorite city is Edinburgh, Scotland. My favorite place in Edinburgh is probably the top of Arthur's Seat, which is an extinct volcano outside the city. I have many fond memories of that place, and Edinburgh is just so beautiful and old, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I love the castle, I love the streets, I love the shops and the sandwich places, and I love walking around. I love the buses, and it's just great. Who do you want to answer the survey next? I want Jenna to answer this survey next, and Natalie, because they're both great at making videos, and I've loved watching Natalie's videos, but Jenna hasn't made one in a while, so you know what, Jenna? You have to do this survey, okay? Okay.